I would tell people to stick with it. Very rewarding. Everybody is at a different spiritual maturity level at a time in their life right now.
Don't compare yourself to anybody else. And what
Yes.
I mean by that is, we can always find people we go, gosh, we wish we could spend the time doing what they do, or I wish I would have thought about that when I did. And you really have to do it for what you get out of it.
Mm-hmm.
And so don't try and keep up with somebody else's pace. Don't try and figure out, if they've got this part of their life. Because I will tell you, if you try to change things dramatically, at least our opinion was, when we first started this, we really started listing out all the things we could do differently. And I think that's where I kind of walked in and said, this is going to get so overwhelming that we won't actually make it work.
Yeah. As simple as starting with listing out your distractions in your life. And then look at those distractions and say, all right, we can make God more of a priority than this distraction. And it will make a difference.
I do go to a Catholic school, but there I'm surrounded by Christ, and it's okay to be the Jesus freak. I mean, we pray. We before each class period, we pray with our teachers, and we have a weekly mass or adoration or something where we can just sit and be with God. And I also find myself going through the motions sometimes. During Mass, I'll just sit there and, I'll just say the Our Father, and it'll just, you know it by heart, and you just say it. You don't actually focus on what those words actually mean. Mm-hmm. And sitting in adoration, when you're just listening to the music and you're in the presence of God, sometimes I find my mind wandering around, and trying to focus my energy more onto Christ is also something that I've needed to do through these weeks, and I've realized that I shouldn't go through the motions, and I need to focus more on Christ.
On Thursday afternoons and evenings, I watched my son. We were playing, or he was playing, and I was sitting on the couch watching him. He seemed enmeshed in his thing, and so I started checking my email on my phone, as I'm sure many people do. And I looked over, and he looked up from his thing, and he saw me looking at him, and he smiled, and he went back down, kind of sheepishly smiling and playing, excited. Daddy was looking at him. And I thought, I'm just going to set the phone down and watch. And he looked up again and smiled, and looked down and played a little bit more. And then he looked up and saw me still looking at him again and smiled and came over and he took my hand and walked me over so I could play with him. And I was telling my wife about this, and she said, well, yeah, he always looks at you when you're on your phone. And it was like, oh, it just destroyed me. I was spending time with my son, but I wasn't, and so for me, that was a real moment of enlightenment. I can be with him, but not really be with him.
I would say that if you are struggling with the audit and developing the practices in your home life, that you should reach out to someone else in the congregation. Maybe if you're in a small group setting like a Bible study or your Sunday school class, just ask them, are you doing the audit? How is it working for you? Maybe can you give me some suggestions about what to do? And that helps. I spoke with Robin a couple times about I don't really feel like I'm doing very well with this. But yeah, she was encouraging.
We have a lot of people that come in. We have a food pantry. People come in all the time, wanting food or wanting assistance of some kind. But then as the day goes on or the week goes on, by the time Friday comes along and I've helped however many people that maybe came in, I start to get cynical again, and I realize the things I think when they leave. Why aren't they doing more for themselves? Why aren't they changing what they do, their habits, to fix, whatever situation they're in? And then I stopped myself and said, well, that's what I'm supposed to be doing with this audit. Stopping and looking and seeing what it is that I could do to change how I'm leading my life, the practices and habits that I have.